In today's education news, what are the most important issues to teachers when it comes to this election? So, if like me, you enjoyed that first TV debate, which sort of felt like a playground dispute I have on the regular with some of my students, you'll have heard Rishi say that they have backed our schools with record investment, which is such a misleading thing to say because in real terms, over 70% of schools have less funding than they did in 2010. And if you want to see the impact of 14 years of chronic underfunding, just go to the website schoolcuts.org.uk, search your school and see it for yourself. Now, for me personally, education's at the top as far as most important issues when it comes to this election. But according to a YouGov poll, just 12% of the population think education is one of the most important issues compared to some of these other problems. Now, I don't know whether that's down to the fact the government have failed in every other area, or that they've successfully managed to continue to devalue our profession, because in 2017 it was the third biggest issue behind Brexit and health. But it doesn't take much to work out what is the biggest issue for every teacher. According to an NFER poll, over 1,000 teachers, it was school funding in the top three, which you can't disagree with, can you? It is. So when Rishi's on TV saying record levels of investment, yet 81% of teachers in this survey saying school funding is their top priority. Second was reform of Ofsted, 56%. Next was addressing the teacher recruitment and retention issues, and then followed by ensuring sufficient support and resources for pupils with SEND, which I think closely links to that top priority of school funding. And to absolutely no one's surprise, less than 1% placed implementing this advanced British standard and ensuring every pupil is studying maths to 18 is in their top three issues, because it just shows how out of touch Rishi is with the reality of what is going on in our schools. I mean, can't expect pupils to study maths to 18 when we can't even get enough teachers to teach maths at secondary. What I found really interesting was the difference between primary and secondary teachers with this poll. So primary teachers ranked Ofsted reform as a higher priority than secondary, 60%, 39%. Now, I think this just clearly shows how the current inspection framework is so heavily weighted towards secondary with this subject-specific deep dive nonsense, which is just creating so much more extra workload for us as primary school teachers. And they never seem to have a primary school teacher consulting on anything like that. It's always secondary. So completely understand that. Primary teachers and leaders also rated ensuring SEND support more highly, 52% to 23%. Again, not surprised with this. The fact that, most of the assessments and trying to diagnose things happen at primary, and we see every day just the backlog, how long it takes, the waiting lists and so on. So not surprised with that. And secondary teachers prioritise addressing recruitment and retention. Again, not surprised with that. I think obviously there are so many more gaps as far as recruitment and retention in secondary. The government have missed their targets so badly for a number of years in specific subjects. I still think there's issues around primary, but clearly it's worse at secondary. So as always, I welcome your thoughts. What are your top priorities as we head into this election? What would you like to see announced from the likes of Labour or this current government to win your... Surely there's not anyone working in the education sector who's going, yeah, I want 5 more years of this. Surely not. And even if there are a couple, they're not going to be watching this video, are they? I wonder what they are doing.